We're going to start today's lecture with, with Dr. David Livingstone. He was the best-known explorer and missionary of this time period. He was Scottish, and for 30 years he wrote about different people and opposed the slave trade that was going on in Africa. His solution to the problem was to open up the interior of Africa to Christianity and trade. Livingstone's reports and discoveries led to a scramble for the colonies of Africa by European nations, starting with King Leopold II of Belgium. He hired journalist Henry Stanley to explore the Congo River and publicly stated that he wanted to help the barbaric Africans. However, privately, Leopold II dreamed of conquest and profit in Africa. The Berlin Conference took place in 1884, where the European powers met to avoid further bloodshed. The European nations recognized Leopold's private claims in the Congo. As the conference concluded, no European powers could claim any part of Africa unless it had set up a government office there. From here on out, Europeans would send officials to exert power over local rulers and people. 20 years later, European powers partitioned almost the entire continent of Africa. In Belgium, for instance, Belgium under King Leopold II's rule exploited many natural resources in the Congo, like copper, rubber, and ivory. The Congo villagers were forced to work for nothing. They were brutally beaten and mutilated. Eventually, outrage led to Leopold II turning over his personal control in the Congo to the Belgian government. In 1908, the Belgian Congo was formed, and from here on out, the worst abuses were over. However, Belgians regarded the Congo as a possession to be exploited. When looking at the French's rule of Africa, in the 1830s, the French invaded and conquered Algeria, Morocco, Madagascar, and Tunisia. This cost tens of thousands of French lives and killed many times more Algerians. At its height, the French Empire in Africa was as large as the United States is. Britain's rule in Africa consisted of the British taking control of western and eastern Africa, specifically Egypt, Rhodesia, Kenya, Nigeria, and the Gold Coast. When traveling south, they clashed with the Boers and started the Boer War from 1899 to 1902. In 1910, Britain united the Cape Colony and the former Boer republics into the Union of South Africa. This led to a new constitution run by the whites and laid the foundation of complete racial segregation until 1993. Germany's rule in Africa consisted of Germany controlling Cameroon, Togoland, Southwest Africa, which is Namibia, and East Africa, which was Tanzania. One government official from Germany once stated that we do not want to put anyone in the shade, but we also demand our place in the sun, meaning that Germany wanted respect for their power that they had gained through the unification process, and now wanted to take control in Africa so they can make more money using Africa's natural resources. Italy's rule in Africa consisted of Italy controlling Eritrea, Somalia, and Libya. One country in Africa that avoided European rule during imperialism was Ethiopia. Ethiopia was under a feudal state and was divided up among a number of rival princes to rule their own domain. Menelik II was the king of Ethiopia, and he modernized the country by building roads, bridges, and set up a Western school system. He imported the latest weapons and hired Europeans to train his army. At the Battle of Adawa in 1892, Ethiopians were able to defend and defeat the Italian invaders because they were well trained. Ethiopia and Liberia were able to preserve its independence and resist European invaders. I want to thank you for doing your homework, and as your reward, you're able to use a 3x5 index card on your test on Thursday, in which you put whatever notes you want front and back for your test. Remember, it has to be 3x5, and I will check your card before the test on Thursday. Good luck.